If you've ever been pulled into a situationship that felt like an emotional maze, if you've ever felt like someone said one thing, meant another, and gained power from the confusion, you're not imagining it. Some people in 2025 have mastered psychological chess, and today I'm exposing 7 Dark Triad tactics used by highly manipulative individuals, and how strong men counter every single one of them with calm, precise strategy. Once you learn these, you walk through modern dating like a man who's finally reading the playbook everyone else pretends doesn't exist. We're living in an era of subtle manipulation, curated social media, emotional baiting, breadcrumbing, power plays, and silent warfare disguised as intimacy. But this isn't about attacking women. It's about identifying behaviors anyone, male or female, uses when high in Machiavellianism, narcissism, or psychopathy, and teaching you how to defend yourself ethically, intelligently, and without bitterness. Sun Tzu said, "If you know the enemy and know yourself, you need not fear the result of 100 battles." Let's expose the tactics and sharpen your counters. The first tactic is selective vulnerability. This is when someone reveals just enough softness to disarm you, but never enough to truly connect. In 2025, you see it everywhere. The perfectly timed line like, "I've never told anyone this before." The half revealed trauma story, the emotional moment that feels intimate but is designed to pull you closer. It works because vulnerability is rare in the modern world. Machiavelli wrote, "Men are won by the promise of greater benefit." Selective vulnerability promises intimacy without ever delivering it. The counter is neutral compassion. You care, but you don't collapse. You listen, you acknowledge, but you remain centered. You don't get pulled into the emotional quicksand. When someone realizes you're not easily swayed, the tactic loses all power. The second tactic is the power pivot frame. This is emotional whiplash. Warm one day, cold the next. Supportive, then dismissive. Interested, then distant. Not random, calculated. Manipulative individuals pivot their emotional tone whenever your confidence becomes too stable. Your stability threatens their control. You see it as, you get a promotion, they go cold. You start improving yourself, they criticize you. You pull away, they suddenly show affection. It's designed to destabilize you. Robert Greene warned, "Conceal your intentions." Their shifting behavior keeps you guessing. The counter is an unshakable routine. You don't reward unpredictable behavior. You don't react to emotional turbulence. You stay anchored in your own schedule, your mission, your discipline. A man who is consistent in his habits cannot be psychologically hijacked by someone's mood swings. The third tactic is aesthetic leverage. Beauty is influence, and in 2025, it's amplified by filters, angles, and algorithmic perfection. Dark Triad personalities use appearance as a form of power, posting thirst traps during arguments, curating seductive personas online, leveraging attention from others to trigger jealousy or insecurity. Jung said, "Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will rule your life." Most men are unconsciously ruled by beauty. That's why aesthetic leverage is so effective. The counter is aesthetic immunity. You train yourself to appreciate beauty without becoming controlled by it. You don't fall for filters. You don't melt under seductive angles. You judge by behavior, consistency, respect, character, not the surface. Once you become immune to beauty as a weapon, 90% of manipulation loses its grip on you. The fourth tactic is the ambiguous commitment loop. This is the modern epidemic. Not together, not apart. Just enough closeness to keep you invested. Just enough distance for them to stay in control. You hear lines like, "I'm not ready for a relationship, but don't talk to anyone else." I feel something for you. I just need time. Acting like your partner without the responsibility of being one. This limbo drains men psychologically. Marcus Aurelius said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Ambiguous dynamics hijack that power. The counter is non negotiable standards. You calmly draw the line. Consistency or distance, nothing in the middle. No drama, no chasing, just clarity. If they step up, fine. If they walk away, even better. Either way, you win because you refuse to live in emotional purgatory. The fifth tactic is the reciprocity trap. Manipulative individuals give strategically, not out of genuine kindness. A compliment before a request, affection before a favor, love bombing before emotional taxation. Robert Greene said, "When you accept gifts, you become indebted. Their giving is an investment, and you are the return." The counter is slow recognition. Never match someone's energy instantly. Never assume early giving is genuine. Let time expose whether their actions are gifts or bait. Manipulative personalities hate men who can't be rushed emotionally. The sixth tactic is social proof manipulation. This is attention warfare, using other people to raise their value, posting seductive content during conflict, keeping a roster of orbiters, weaponizing likes, comments, and followers to trigger jealousy or insecurity. Sun Tzu wrote, "All warfare is based on deception. Modern warfare, it's based on optics." The counter is the zero competition frame. A high value man does not compete for attention. He doesn't chase validation. He doesn't fight strangers online for someone's affection. He simply opts out. When you remove yourself from competition, you become the prize, and that's real dominance. The seventh and most potent tactic is strategic emotional withholding. Warmth, then sudden coldness, exactly when you crave validation most. Compliments withheld, affection withheld, silence used as a weapon, intermittent reinforcement, the same psychology casinos use to keep people addicted. Nietzsche said, "He who cannot command himself must obey." Emotional withholding only works on men who lack internal strength. The counter is internal validation. You become a man who doesn't starve without external approval. You build confidence through discipline, purpose, achievement, brotherhood, and inner mastery. A man who generates his own validation cannot be manipulated with emotional crumbs, ever. And when you understand these seven tactics, something inside you shifts. You stop taking behavior personally. You stop chasing potential. You stop being manipulated by beauty, attention, or emotional turbulence. You become a calm, centered, grounded force in a chaotic digital world. Your clarity becomes a filter that blocks the manipulative and attracts the genuine. Here are your counters: neutral compassion, unshakable routine, aesthetic immunity, non negotiable standards, slow recognition, zero competition frame, internal validation. Carry these with you, study them, master them. Clarity is a superpower. Now, here's your challenge. Comment this: "I choose clarity over confusion." If this video hits 10,000 likes, I'll drop the follow up: the 5 psychological tactics high value men use automatically. You're not here to play defense, you're here to evolve. Stay sharp, stay strategic, stay sovereign.